Welcome to Sassy Assassin Superpower Secrets. I'm Kristin Rohan, and thanks for joining me. Happy New Year, everyone. I'm so pleased that you're joining me and that we are into a new year. Now, in full honesty, I don't really buy into the whole thing that the old year is gone and the new year is new and it's all wiped under the table, because I believe, and this is what I experienced, that if I don't resolve and make peace and somehow let go of what happened in the past, it's going to follow me into the new year anyways. And then if I make resolutions and I jump into them and the old ones I never finished, I just feel like it's going to snowball into some chaos, and I'm setting myself already up for failure. So here's what I do. I've been trying to let go of whatever I've been feeling, whatever that baggage is, a little by little. And so going into this year, looking at health and healing as more of a lifestyle than a resolution and a goal. And I talked a little bit about that on my podcast. So this is just the short version of it. So with that, I am going to talk about the fact that this year is all about new perspectives, because I do love that people want to make new starts, that they have hope for the new year. And I'll buy right into that. And so with new perspectives, it's about looking at things differently than we did in the past. And here's my first challenge for you, and here's what I'm doing, is that I see a lot of negativity out there. And even if it's something positive, right? Like somebody won an award because they did something good, or somebody helped a stranger by talking to them, or somebody gave money, or somebody spoke out, or whatever it is. There's always those critics, right? That say, well, they shouldn't have done that, or too little too late, or whatever. I'm not even going to say anything negative. I don't even want that to come out of my mouth. And here's what I say to them, is that you can find the negativity in anything. You can find the negativity in puppies or rainbows or unicorns or tacos. And here's my challenge to you, is everybody who's up for it, is that instead of looking at the negative and making fun of people and tearing them down, let's look for the positive. You can find just as much positivity in a situation that you can in negativity. And I'm talking to you from not always having great things happen to me, because there have been times that I have been at rock bottom, or couldn't get out of bed, or just thought my life was over. And I had to say, I need to pick myself up and live another day. And so I had to find the opportunity to grow and learn and figure out how to make that part of my story a chapter, not the ending. And I encourage you to do the same. And so let's make an agreement. Let's have an accord, and start building people up and looking for the opportunity for us to heal ourselves. Because if it brings something out in us, that could potentially mean that we might need healing. I know that it does. Like when I'm feeling that I don't really like it, it's like, wait a minute, why is that triggering me? So there's something that I need to like in myself before I go and point the finger at somebody else. Because you know that old saying that if you're pointing the finger at one person, that there's three pointing back at you. Okay. All right, new topic. Ding. Okay, so new perspectives. So let's build each other up. Let's look for the positive and the opportunity. Let's take care of ourselves. And with that, here is how these videos are going to go. At least for a while, we're experimenting with a new format. But my favorite word is cheers. And the reason it's cheers, not just because I like to live my party, but because that word represents so much. And so I'm going to take a letter from that word every time we have an episode and talk about what that letter means to me. And so we're going to start with the C for celebrate. And that's perfect time for this time of the year, is celebrating. And not just celebrating the old year. So if you went out on New Year's and you had a good time and a ring-a-ding-ding, that's great. But this is a time to celebrate where we are, where we want to go, and the people that supported us getting there. And so here are my tips to celebrate. The first one is make a list of the nice things people have said to you, so that you can remember in your darkest days, or maybe your misty days, that there are people that love and believe in you and are cheering you on. And sometimes when we're our own worst critic, is to look and remember that somebody else saw something really good inside of you, and they were brave enough to tell you about it, and they loved you enough to tell you about it. So look at that list when you're feeling a little bit down and remember, oh, somebody said that I was funny, or somebody said I had a nice smile, or somebody said that I really, made their day when I brought them their groceries. And remember those good acts that you've done, because it's so easy to lift people up while we are keeping ourselves down, right? We don't want to do that anymore. So celebrate yourself and let people support you in that, especially if somebody has said something negative to you, or you're feeling like, you're being harassed or bullied, or, a lot of times it's so easy to give up hope and think nobody likes me. So take out that list and remind yourself somebody loves you. Okay, number 2, indulge yourself, celebrate self-care, and do something nice for yourself every day. Even if that is putting a pretty flower in your hair, or, having an extra cup of tea, or taking yourself out to a coffee or to a gelato, but just be nicer to yourself and celebrate the fact that you made it this far and you made it into the new year, because that'll go far, right? Look for nice things to do for yourself. I like to do something that is part of my dream life, like how I imagine my endless summer. And I do something that's endless summery every day. So whether I look at my picture of the endless summer, or I am having a pina colada smoothie, or I look at pictures of beaches on Pinterest, or I have a beautiful martini glass of sand and pearls, and I keep my earrings and my ring in it. So every day I kind of dip my fingers in the sand, whatever helps me or supports me, remembering that actually I don't have to wait for my dream life and I don't have to dream about it. I'm living it today. And the third one is celebrate other people. So find somebody, if you can't do it every day, do it every week. Just find somebody that you admire and tell them why you admire them. I really believe that if we are specific with people and tell them what we like about them, what we admire and respect, that helps them blossom a little bit more, and it supports them stepping into their superpower, and that then encourages you to step into your superpower a little bit more too. And so whether you love that somebody is passionate about math, or that they are a great singer on Instagram. I have a beautiful friend called Brendan, and he sings songs on Instagram, and he just sang one of the songs from The Greatest Showman, and I loved it. And so I wrote him a little note and said, please, more, an album, let's, more from you, because it really made my morning. And so tell people when you appreciate them. It doesn't take anything away from you. It actually builds you both up. And when there's that good energy, it then will ripple and ripple and ripple. At least that's my opinion. Okay. The last way is that I wanted to share a book that I was just reading called Ultimate Concealer, and it's a sassy mystery novel, and I love reading mystery novels, but it's by Nancy Warren, and the gal in it, her name's Toni Diamond. Isn't that fabulous? She is a makeup consultant and she sells makeup, and but she's always dressing herself up, and she's always waiting for an amazing thing to happen. And so that's exactly what she says in this book, is that dress as something wonderful is going to happen. So here's another challenge for you. Why don't you every day put something on that makes you believe or inspires you to remember that something wonderful is going to happen, whether it's a fun ring, or your favorite pair of earrings, or a brooch that somebody special gave you. This is for my husband. Thank you, Professor Zoom. To remind yourself that you should be celebrated, and you should be celebrating every day. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me on the Sassy Assassin Superpower Secrets. I'm Kristin Rohan. Remember to step into your superpower and live your party. Cheers.